No more running. Kurisu gasps for breath while Mayuri calmly munches on a banana. As I check the lab for any sign of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catches my eye. The meter reads 0.337187%. Divergence hasn't changed. Reading Steins didn't activate this time, so I suspected that might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought the divergence would change the instant Suzuha I obtained with 5100 in 75. But maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the 5100? Will it change when we use the 5100 to delete my email from CERN's database? At any rate, all we can do now is wait for Suzuha to arrive. Suzuha's 54 by now, right? After catching his breath, Daru speaks. My daughter's 30 years older than me. I don't know if I want to see that. You know, it would be unusual for her to have grandchildren by that age. You mean I could have great grandkids? Don't know if I'm ready for that, man. Just be super nice to them. That's what grandpas do. Please don't call me a grandpa. A knock on the door interrupts the idle chatter. It must be Suzuha. Everyone looks at me with a strange mixture of anticipation and anxiety. I slowly open the door.
Oh, Okabe.
Okabe. Instead of an old woman, we get a wall of muscle. Our disappointment is palpable. Wait, he couldn't be, could he? Oh, it's you. Hey, have you seen my part-timer? Mr. Braun peeks into the lab. Look at Suzuha-san. She went 35 years.
Shut up, Mayuri.
Shut up, Ioi. Kurisu covers Mayuri's mouth. You know something? Where'd that girl run off to? She took the last couple of days off and I don't know when she's going next. She won't even answer her phone. We don't have time for this, but I can't just order him to leave. Not unless I want another crack school. She said she went back to her hometown. She's probably gone for good. What? You sure? That brat, she didn't say a word to me. The future is changing. Isn't that this proof? On my previous leaps, Mr. Braun never came by the lab. This must be related to Suzuha's trip to 75. Surely it's a good sign. Now, as long as the attractor field doesn't amend history again. Mr. Braun sighs and turns to me with a serious expression. Well, whatever. I got something for you, Okabe. For me? He hands me an envelope. It's addressed to Okabe Wintour, but there's no stamp or postmark. The name Hashida Suzu is written on the back. What's this? It's from the lady who used to own this building. She asked me to give it to you on this day. Hmm? Who? How did you know Suzu-san anyway? Suzu-san? Of course. The name of the back reads Hashida Suzu. Hashida is Daru's surname. Where is she now? She passed away 10 years ago. Passed away? She's dead. The wave of dizziness nearly sweeps me off my feet. How old was she? Mid-40s, I think. The age fits. Thank you for taking care of this letter, Mr. Braun. Is this from Suzu-san? Seriously? Why did he have it? Mr. Braun clearly doesn't understand our reaction. We're not about to explain. I thank him again. He grumbles a bit and leaves. As soon as he's gone, I broke the seal and opened the envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter. The characters are slightly messy as if her hand was shaking when she wrote it. Her eyes, transfixed, begin to read. Dear Okabe Rintaro, it's me, Amane Suzuha, Hashida Taita's daughter. It's been a long time. Fair for you. I'm sure only a few hours have passed. The date is June the 13th, the year 2000. Meaning I'm writing this 10 years before you will read it. I'll get right to the point. She failed. The date is June the 14th, the year 2000. About 9 or 10 years back, before you all read this, I failed. I only remembered who I was 1 year ago today. The day Nostradamus said the King of Terror would come. Stupid, stupid King of Terror. He should have come and burned us all away. For 24 years, I forgot who I was. All I could remember was my name. I finally remembered 1 year ago. The day the King of Terror was supposed to come, but didn't. There's no King of Terror, but I want to die. The repairs were incomplete. The time machine malfunctioned. When I arrived in 75, I couldn't remember anything. They found me lying in the street like a broken doll, and took me to a hospital. Now I've been living on my own for years. That's as Hashida Suzu, a normal person, forgot duty and mission of Amane Suzuha. I only remembered that last year. I failed. I'm a failure. Something went wrong. I don't know what. The repairs were incomplete, but it's not Dad's fault. It's mine. I should have gone straight to 75, but I stopped in 2010. I was selfish and now the future's doomed. There's no 5100. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For what purpose have I lived to this age? I forgot my duty and lived a carefree life instead. Now my life has no meaning at all. It's worthless, worthless, worthless. I wish I hadn't remembered. I'm glad I finally remembered. I'm glad I had this chance to say sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me, forgive me. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. My plan failed. I spent this whole year asking myself why. I finally figured it out. If I hadn't postponed my leap to 75, this wouldn't have happened. Okabe Rintaro, after the offline meet, you stopped me from going to 75. I was really happy. That's where it all went wrong. I should have left. I shouldn't have waited. That was my last chance. That night, there was a thunderstorm. My time machine was flooded. If you can go back to that day, please let me leave. Then I can bring you the 5100. I can fulfill my mission. Please. That's all I want. I promised Dad. This was his dream. I want to change the future. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My life was meaningless. My hands curl, crumpling the page. I realise that I'm crying. Suzuha failed? She lost her memory. Her life was meaningless? This can't be happening. Nobody says a word. Their faces, like mine, are frozen in disbelief. I turn to Daru. He's whiter than a sheet. Daru, didn't you fix the time machine? I did. I thought I did. But I mean, that was my first time repairing a time machine. I might have missed something. Missed something? Whatever you missed cost your daughter 24 years of her life. I didn't do it on purpose. Calm down, both of you. Hasha did everything he could. He doesn't deserve your anger, Okabe. How can you be so calm? That's how I am. Sorry. Now calm down. It's not Daru's fault, I know that. But it can't end like this, it can't. What was Suzuha feeling as she wrote this letter? I look again at the words scrawled upon my page, every character resonant with despair. I wanted to welcome her back with a smile. Instead this. Suzuha is dead, 10 years gone. Wait, how did she die? Don't tell me. Mr. Braun must know what happened. I run to a window and check the street. Mr. Braun is outside closing up shop. Mr. Braun! Mr. Braun! I run downstairs. Okabe, did you hear? That satellite up and disappeared. Everyone's talking about it. I guess it's already made the news. Please, I need to know. Know what? Hashida Suzuha-san. How did she die? Why do you want to know that? He looks at me hard. I meet his stare, unflinching. I don't know anything about how she died. I need to know what our last moments were like. I feel it's my duty to know. To engrave her memory into my heart. Sounds like you got a reason. What I want to know is how you knew her. She was an old acquaintance. That's all I can say. A very old acquaintance. But I still remember the time I spent with her. So, please, tell me. I don't like to talk about it, but Okay. Listen good, Okabe. I slowly nod. And then I get my answer. It was suicide. The word drops on my heart like an anvil. My knees give out. I collapse to the pavement. Suicide. She hung herself at home. I was the one who found her. My life was meaningless. I recall the last words she wrote in a letter, words of unimaginable despair. She didn't deserve so bleak an end. She became unstable about a year before it happened. Before that, she was a nice, cheerful lady. This building was hers. She gave me a place to stay. She had no relatives, you know? But no one came to her funeral. It was a sad thing to see. She handed me that letter a week before it happened. She told me to give it to a young man named Okabe Rintaro on this exact date. When he moved in upstairs, I thought Suzuki-san must have seen the future or something. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I try to stand, but my legs betray me. I stumble, but before I fall, a small body supports my shoulder. Akun, are you okay? Miyori must be taking all her strength to hold me up. Did Miyori hear how Suzuha died? Her eyes are wet, her lips trembling. Still, she's the one who's supporting me. Miyori and I bow deeply to Mr. Braun and return to the lab. When we get back, Darryl is seated at his computer, head on the table. Kreese was standing in front of the TV, watching an excited reporter talk about Radican. The disappearance of the satellite is huge news, obviously. The lounge is silent, save for the TV. I look at the table. The divergence meter still reads .337187. What went wrong? I can't go back to 10 years with a timing machine. I can't do anything about Suzuki-san's death. I should have stopped her from leaving after all. Maybe then this tragedy wouldn't have happened. It is possible. It is possible. It really is possible. If she still has a phone, it is possible. No. What choice did I have? I can't save Miyori without the IBM 5100. Suzuha had to travel to 75. I consider my options. What if I redo those 2 days again? Could Dario fix a time machine so this doesn't happen? Is fixing a time machine even possible? Dario's skills are second to none, and the time machine was built by his own hand. 26 years in the future. Seems logical that he would be able to fix it. But look at it another way. It took Dario 26 years to learn enough to build a time machine, and he had to reverse engineer CERNs to do it. Maybe it was unreasonable to expect our Dario to perform flawless repairs in 2 days. In that case, can I have Dario to use a time limit machine and repeat these 2 days again until he repairs it? No. We have to start from scratch each time. 2 days just aren't enough. I collapse onto a sofa and bury my face in my hands. Miyori sits next to me and gently rubs my back. I'm grateful for her kindness. I recall what Suzuha-san wrote. If you go back to that day, please let me leave. The email I sent, could that be a cause? On the original world line, Suzuha leapt to 75 after failing to meet her father. Unsatisfied with her outcome, I sent an email to convince myself to follow her and prevent her from leaving. As a result, she remained in 2010 for an additional 4 days. But that night, the time machine was damaged by a thunderstorm. If I hadn't followed Suzuha that day, if I hadn't sent that email to myself, her time machine would not have malfunctioned. She would have arrived safely in 75. The solution was obvious. I need to cancel that email. But can I really do that? If I change a pass so that Suzuha leaves, will it undo the 4 days we spent together? Our frantic search through the streets of Akiba? Her heartfelt confession on the roof of Vatican? Her tearful reunion with her father, Darrow. All of it will be undone. What do I do? An urgent bulletin pops up on TV. I look up in surprise. Bomb threat suspends Yamanote, Sobu, Keihin Tohoku lines. Damn, Moka's men will be here any minute. There's no time to think, no time to hesitate. Run downstairs, break into a Born workshop and turn on the 42-inch. And I'll return to a lab and activate the time leap machine. What are you doing, Okabe? Kusu demands an answer. I can see the fear in her eyes. We can't just leave it like this. I have to do something. Okabe. But Okabe, are you sure? Don't try to stop me, Miyori. I can't let this stand. There are two options. I can cancel the D-mail that convinced me to pursue Suzuha. Sending a contradictory D-mail should do the trick. Or I can time leap again and prevent Suzuha from leaving. Two options, but really just one. Don't hesitate. Hesitation is unforgivable. You already know what you must do. Stop pursuit. Last mail. Is SERN trap. That should be enough to convince me to let Suzuha go. Krisu, you're good at remembering dates, aren't you? Huh? Sure. When did we throw that party for Suzuha? 4 days ago, August 9th. You're sending a D-mail? But we might make everything disappear? 4 days. It may not sound like much, but over that time you forged a definite bond with Suzuha. So this D-mail is to sever that bond. I know that. I know that. This is the only choice I have. I set the phone wave to 79 hours ago. The email should arrive a few hours after the first. Now I just need to send it. Save Miyori, that's my purpose. That's why it drove me to leap through time. I'll do whatever it takes to save her. It's just one more sacrifice. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy whatever bond you had. Send it. Push the button. Isn't that what Suzuha wants? We're saving her from 25 years of loneliness. Mending her life in utter despair. Save Suzuha, save Miyori. This is the right thing to do. This is right. And this is the end of the episode.